quiet of a barren land, father and son prepare for a sacred ritual. Lamech wraps the ancient snakeskin, a holy relic passed down from Adam, around Noah's arm, signifying the transfer of guardianship. But before the ritual can be completed, a deep horn blares in the distance. Their sacred moment is shattered. Lamech senses danger and hides Noah in a rocky crevice, telling him to remain silent no matter what happens. Moments later, soldiers appear. They're led by a fierce and ruthless man named Tubal-Cain, a descendant of Cain and the self-proclaimed king of men. Tubal-Cain demands resources, specifically tsohar, a glowing mineral found in the land. Lamech refuses, stating the land is sacred and not for conquest. Tubal-Cain responds with violence. He tears the snakeskin from Lamech's arm, mocks his beliefs, and brutally kills him in front of young Noah's hidden eyes. Years later, Noah the father time passes. Noah is now a grown man with a wife, Naamah, and 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They live far from cities, surviving off the land and living in harmony with nature. One day, while wandering with his sons, Noah sees a sign from above. A single raindrop falls from the sky, hits the cracked earth, and miraculously transforms into a living flower. He is stunned. The ground is barren and dead, but life appeared. Noah knows this isn't a coincidence. Suddenly, they see an injured animal limping away. A broken spear is lodged in its side. Poachers had attacked it for meat. Noah approaches the creature slowly, gently removing the weapon. But before they can do anything, a group of poachers surrounds them. Noah, though outnumbered, defends himself. With swift moves, he kills them one by one, using the very spear that harmed the creature. After the fight, Noah and his sons light a fire and perform a respectful burial for the animal. This act of compassion shows the contrast between Noah's values and the cruelty of men. The dream and the journey that night, Noah dreams of a massive flood, raging waters covering the earth, drowning every living thing. He sees a great mountain, animals rushing through water, and himself standing helpless amidst destruction. He wakes up terrified. It wasn't just a dream, it was a message from God. Noah tells Naamah that he must seek out his grandfather Methuselah, the wisest man alive, who lives on a distant mountain. The family packs up and begins the long and dangerous journey. Along the way, they pass through a destroyed tsohar mine filled with the bodies of dead scavengers. There, they hear faint cries and discover a wounded girl named Isla, barely alive. Naamah takes her in and begins tending to her injuries. Suddenly, danger approaches. Armed men arrive, forcing the family to flee through a cursed, forbidden land, a land haunted by legends of punishment. Encounter with the Watchers. As the family runs into the lifeless wasteland, the ground beneath them begins to shift. Giant stone beings emerge from the earth, the Watchers. Towering over humans, these creatures are terrifying and powerful. The Watchers surround Noah's family. Their leader, Samyaza, demands to know why humans are trespassing. When Noah speaks of Seth and says he was sent by God, Samyaza refuses to believe. He reminds Noah that men betrayed God, and the Watchers were cursed because of their kindness. One of the Watchers, Og, shows compassion. He defends Noah, saying he saw purity in him. Still skeptical, the Watchers leave the family to survive alone. That night, Noah tends to Isla's wounds and notices a deep scar on her belly. Naamah explains that the injury means she can never bear children. Og's story, the history of the Watchers. Later that night, Og returns and secretly guides the family toward Methuselah's mountain. As they travel, Og tells Noah the full truth. The Watchers were once angels of light, made to serve and protect. When humanity was cast out of Eden, the Watchers took pity and came down to earth to help. But God saw this as defiance. He punished them by binding their radiant spirits into bodies of stone. Despite their suffering, the Watchers still taught men agriculture, mining, and tools. But humans misused the knowledge, becoming greedy and violent. When war broke out, only Methuselah fought for the Watchers. Using a divine sword, he scorched the earth and defeated the armies hunting the Watchers. Now, the Watchers live in shame and exile, believing that God has abandoned them, until Noah appeared. Arrival at the mountain, Methuselah's prophecy. The family reaches the sacred mountain, and Noah climbs with Shem to the summit. There, in a cave, they find Methuselah, an old yet powerful man with glowing eyes and deep wisdom. Methuselah touches Shem's forehead, putting him to sleep instantly to speak with Noah alone. Over tea, Methuselah tells Noah that his father warned of this day, that mankind would face judgment. The dreams Noah has been having are not warnings, they are instructions. Noah wonders if the destruction can be avoided. Methuselah says perhaps, but then smiles mysteriously as Noah begins to feel dizzy. Something was in the tea. Noah is swept into a powerful vision. He sees the flood again, but this time, he sees animals swimming toward a great ark. A light surrounds him. When he awakens, Methuselah asks what he saw. Noah declares, "The flood will come to cleanse the wicked. But God wants life to survive. We must build an ark, the Eden seed and the return of hope." Moved by Noah's clarity, Methuselah gives him a sacred seed from the Garden of Eden, the last of its kind. Noah returns to his family and shares the vision. He tells them they are not meant to be saved, but the innocent animals must survive. Their task is to preserve life, not humanity. He plants the seed into the lifeless ground. Within moments, water bursts from the earth, spreading outward like veins. Grass begins to grow, then trees. The wasteland turns green before their eyes. The seed has unleashed Eden's power, proof that God's hand is upon them. The watchers witness this miracle. Samyaza, stunned, realizes that Noah truly was sent by the Creator. He agrees to help. The other watchers join in. With the watchers' great strength, Noah begins building the ark, preparing the ark and rising tensions. As years pass, the ark takes shape, massive, wooden, sealed with pitch, sturdy enough to survive judgment. Water continues spreading across the land, guiding animals in pairs. Birds, reptiles, beasts, each arrive instinctively, as if summoned by a higher power. Shem and Isla, now grown, share a quiet romance. But Isla remains barren and broken-hearted. Ham, feeling neglected and unloved, becomes jealous. He wants a partner of his own. When he approaches Noah to ask for a wife, Noah gently says, "If God wills it, she will come." But Ham grows bitter. One day in the forest, Ham meets a mysterious man who saves him from danger, King Tubal-Cain. As the ark nears completion, animals continue to arrive in endless pairs: lions, elephants, birds, snakes. Nama burns herbs to create a smoky haze inside the ark that gently puts the animals to sleep, preventing chaos. Noah explains to his son Japheth that every creature comes in pairs, so they can repopulate the earth after the flood. But Japheth innocently asks, "Will we repopulate too?" This question sparks deeper tension. Ham, who has no partner, feels increasingly alienated. Watching Shem and Isla together, and knowing Isla is barren, Ham asks Noah to find them wives. Noah refuses again, believing that mankind is doomed and should not continue. Disheartened, Ham wanders into the forest. There, he sees a group of young women, but before he can reach them, a man blocks his path. It is Tubal-Cain, now grizzled, powerful, and commanding. He watches Ham with curiosity and amusement. Tubal-Cain offers Ham his massive war hammer and calls him a strong young man. When Ham says, "There are no kings in God's garden," Tubal-Cain laughs coldly. He tells Ham that God has abandoned the world, and it's time for men to take control. Tubal-Cain's army secretly follows him back toward the ark. The army approaches, Noah's nightmare. Tubal-Cain arrives at the construction site with his men. He claims ownership of the land, the forest, and even the ark. Noah confronts him, stating that the ark is built for the innocent, not tyrants. Tubal-Cain reminds Noah of the state of the world: starvation, death, and war. He says if God intended to save them, he would have intervened long ago. Tubal-Cain still believes he can overpower Noah and take the ark by force. Noah realizes in that moment that Tubal-Cain is the same man who murdered his father. As Tubal-Cain leaves, he warns, "If the Creator truly intends to wipe us out, let him show himself." Noah retreats to the village, hoping to find wives for his sons, but what he witnesses is devastating. Darkness of man, Noah's breaking point. In a filthy, chaotic camp, women and children are being traded for food. Soldiers throw bleeding goats at starving crowds, and men scream over bones. Children cry, enslaved. A little girl screams as she's taken away from her mother. Noah stands frozen, watching this descent into madness. A vision flashes, flames rain from the sky, blood pools beneath his feet, and men become monsters. He realizes, this is what humanity has become. He returns home, shaken, and tells Ham and the others, there will be no wives. He declares that all men, including their family, must perish. Only the animals will survive to rebuild Eden. Ham yells in protest. "You want us to die," he shouts. "You want your sons to perish with you?" But Noah is unshaken. "It's justice," he replies. "We are no better than the wicked. The blessing, a child is coming." That night, Isla flees into the woods, heartbroken, feeling worthless. She encounters Methuselah, who senses her pain. "I never gave you a blessing," he says. He places his hand gently on her stomach, and a golden light passes into her. Suddenly, Isla feels something shift inside her. She gasps, stunned, as her wound heals. Methuselah smiles and walks away. Later, Isla and Shem embrace in the forest. Their love finally unites them fully, and they make love for the first time, unaware that a miracle has just occurred. The Great Flood begins. As the last plank is hammered into place, Noah closes the ark's massive door. The sky blackens. Thunder echoes. Rain falls in giant sheets. The ground quakes. The flood has begun. In the distance, Ham returns to Nile, the woman he found hiding in the grave pit. He tries to save her. They run toward the ark. But a bear trap snaps onto Nile's leg, immobilizing her. Ham tries to free her, but Noah arrives and drags Ham away, leaving Nile to be trampled to death by Tubal-Cain's incoming army. The battle for the ark. As Tubal-Cain's army reaches the ark, a massive war breaks out. The Watchers, towering and powerful, stand in defense. They use their stone limbs to smash through waves of soldiers. Samyaza, the leader of the Watchers, fights bravely, but Tubal-Cain hits him with a Tsohar-powered weapon. As Samyaza collapses, Tubal-Cain pierces him with a spear. In a blinding explosion, Samyaza's spirit ascends to the heavens, redeemed in death. Seeing this, the remaining Watchers fight without fear. They now know, dying in the Creators will lead them home. As more and more Watchers fall, they take dozens of soldiers with them. Eventually, the last one, Og, Noah's ally, says goodbye, sacrificing himself in a blaze of glory to save the ark. Inside the ark, secrets and survival. The floodwaters surge. The ark rises. The earth disappears beneath waves. Inside, Noah reunites with his family, except for Ham, who secretly allowed Tubal-Cain to climb aboard during the battle. As the storm rages outside, cries from drowning people echo around the ark. Isla and Shem beg Noah to save a few survivors, but he refuses. The ark is full. This is justice. Over the next weeks, Tubal-Cain hides within the shadows, slowly regaining strength. He feeds off sleeping animals. Ham secretly visits him, sharing food and stories. Tubal-Cain whispers poison. Noah, let your woman die. He's planning to kill your brother's child. But you're a man now. The birth and the prophecy. One night, Isla wakes up screaming. She is in labor. Nama helps deliver the baby, but shock spreads across their faces. Isla gives birth to twin daughters. Nama is overjoyed. She sees it as a blessing from God. But Noah, bound by his belief that humanity must not survive, prepares to kill the babies. Isla pleads with him. Let me sing to them before you take them. Noah hesitates. He stares at the innocent, sleeping infants. His hand trembles. But instead of raising the knife, he kisses them gently, overwhelmed by love. He walks away devastated, but the children live. The final confrontation, father versus son. Meanwhile, Ham realizes Tubal-Cain is preparing to strike. He warns Noah, but too late. Noah enters the lower levels of the ark and is ambushed. He and Tubal-Cain engage in a brutal, bloody fight. Shem rushes in, trying to help, but is thrown aside. The ark crashes into the peak of a mountain, shaking violently. Tubal-Cain, bleeding, tries to kill Noah, but Ham stabs him in the back, finally understanding what it means to choose good over revenge. Before dying, Tubal-Cain smiles at Ham. Now you are a man. The aftermath, silence and guilt. The storm stops. The waters calm. A dove returns with an olive branch, a symbol of new life. The ark rests safely on land. But Noah is not at peace. He walks away from his family, disappearing into a cave. Alone, he begins drinking, overcome with guilt. He believes he failed God, failed his family, and should have died with the wicked. Ham visits Noah, but says nothing. He leaves behind a bag and departs into the wilderness forever. Redemption, the second chance. One day, Isla visits Noah. She asks, "Why didn't you kill my daughters?" Noah responds quietly, "Because all I saw in them was love. Innocence." Isla smiles. "Then maybe God wasn't testing you. Maybe he let you choose. And you chose mercy." These words awaken something in Noah. He realizes that God gave him the chance to begin again, not to destroy, but to guide a better world. He returns to his family and opens Ham's bag. Inside is the snakeskin of Lamech. Noah wraps it around his arm and begins a new ritual, passing it to his sons and grandchildren. They stand beneath the light of heaven. And for the first time, the world begins again.